All right, ladies, welcome. In Search of Prosperity Sisterhood is here live this morning, and I was just giving a little review, and so maybe I'll do that again here. Million topics. Earlier this year, let's say 5 or 6 months ago, I had done a topic and somewhere in there I had said, and it was requested that I do a series with million, and here I am. So this is take 2 of 10 different million topics. And so today, the final question is who is that girl that you are becoming that is working towards that million and then that 12th million? Who is that? Who is that? And so the first line in my notes, I wrote your first million vision versus your 12th million. And it reminded me of a while back, I had done a training. This is probably 4 or 5 years ago. I did a training on goal setting, or pro tips is to always have another goal. One example I have of that is as a young couple, my husband and I were working towards putting it down, and we did it. Okay. In 2 years, we had the 20% down, and the first 6 months of living, we did not have another goal. And did we pedal backwards? No. But we weren't working towards the next thing. And it's something that once we discovered that, we just decided to start setting milestones to then pay off the house that we had purchased. And fast forward a few years to that, we paid off, and there was still like okay, now what? Right? There was not another goal in place. And this is coming from someone who teaches this. And it is sometimes harder with a partner, right? But have another goal. Have that vision set in place of million. And there's so much online of how I made my first million, right? Like, let's just hashtag that million. How I got the first million views on my whatever, how I did this and a million that. But what about the next 12? Right? Like, okay, great. What's next? Right? Because that first million, and I know I've said this in other that first million isn't where it's at. It's the second, third, fourth, 11th, 12th million where you like get some stuff done. And so it makes me think of other firsts. Your first book, the first mile in a race, the first payment on the house, the first car that you buy, right? Your first steps, right? I've got a little toddler here. I know those first steps. Those are a little closer to in the experience or stages of life. But what are some other firsts? Those firsts are hard. It's like that hump you have to get over, right? And so, yes, all of the hashtags of how, okay, great. It's the hump to get over. But what about the next 12? And so, as you're in the trenches of getting to that first publication button, that first ribbon that says you did, right? Or that half marathon or that 5K, right? Like whatever that first step is. Once you get past that first, what's next? Who is that girl that's on her 6th, 7th, 8th, 11th, 12th? Who is she? How does she work towards that bigger goal? She's already made the million. She's already hit the publish button. She ran the mile. Who is she? And then what is she doing? Usually it's something consistent over time. For that book, it's writing every single day. For that marathon, it's running every single day. What are those little milestones that you're experiencing and exercising every single day? Because that first million, it's something that can get you to 12. It's making the payment every single month. It's making the payment every month plus $1,000, right? And so I think about the page, and that girl didn't go out to coffee for like 3 years. Because that adds up. And that's what I chose to say no to. And so what is she doing to be the girl that has 10, 11, 12 million working for her? I got that visual of like a downhill slope. Like once you make the million, right?
Mama, are you sad?
But then also, I'm not sad. I'm very happy. But then also, I think of like Dave Ramsey. He talks about how he became a million like age 22 or something like that, and then lost, right? And then built it properly. So it goes to, okay, what's that girl building that solid foundation? That's strengthening that muscle every single day. For myself, in writing a book, it's writing every single day, keeping that pencil sharp. But there's difference between the girl that's putting towards her first and the girl that's got her the 12 million in her pocket. And so maybe just a quick comparison. Not it, and the other word I have is assessment, but really just taking note of who she is right now and who she can, and where's that middle ground? That's 6, 7, 8 million, right? And then when you get to that 6, 7, 8 million, it's no longer about 12, it's about 20. It's about that stretch. It's about something just far enough out of reach. And so many people, like I was saying, the hashtag your first million, like that's not where it ends. That's where it starts. And we have to remember that because the hype is there. But at 6, 7, 8 million, you can be your own hype person, right? Your own cheerleader. Not in a sense of isolation or doing it alone, but in a there's more out there kind of way. And so I ask, What is she doing right now to get to that first? But then who is she that's already on her 11? Always have another goal. All right. We're going to check into our live discussion. And if you have any thoughts, questions, fill in the blank of what first is the hardest for you right now, because you haven't done it before, right? But once you get off that first and onto your sixth, seventh, and eighth, like, wow. So I'm curious, fill in the blank for yourself, answer the question for yourself on the conversation. We're here and we'll talk soon.